Hey guys, hope you all are doing good and welcome back to my YouTube channel The Avial Investments and Solutions. Today we will be discussing about different types of investments available in the markets to make nowadays and what is their return potential. So our agenda for today will be to discuss about what are the measures required to be taken before starting any investment and what are the factors on the basis of which investments are selected. Then we will be discussing about the types of investments, that means which right it gives us while we are investing in any kind of investment. And after that we will be discussing about some of the investment options that are available nowadays with their return potentials. So here we go. What are the requirements for making any investment? So to make any investment, we need to have a basic knowledge of the product in which we are going to invest. That is, how it can be beneficial for us. Will it give us tax deductions or exemption, or will it give us that much return that we require within a particular span of time? Next is financial planning. It's not that we need some hardcore knowledge or something to plan for it. It's just that how we want to start our investment, with what amount, at monthly or quarterly intervals, on the basis of our final goals that we want to achieve with that investment. That means we have to just set priority basis for making our investment. And also we should know beforehand how much risk we are able to take, because everybody has different risk taking ability and nothing is risk free in this world. Everything in this world includes some risk, even our lives. So these all things we need to plan before making any investment. So now we are going to discuss about the factors that are crucial for our investment. We need to check all the given factors before making any investment in a particular product. First of all, liquidity. We need to know how quickly we can convert our investment amount into cash if we need it in emergency. Let's say if we have invested in public provident fund. It has a lock-in period of 15 years. We can't liquidate it in cash before 15 years. And if we invest in money markets, then we can convert it in cash when the market is open. Next is safety. That means we need to check how much our investment is safe in the worst case scenario. The minimum return we will be able to get when there is no liquidity in the market. And the next is returns. Obviously, we are making an investment for getting returns. How much return we can get from our investment if we add money into some product? We should know the minimum as well as maximum amount that we are going to get as a return, so that we can select accordingly. Next is, we need to check whether our return provides us some tax savings also in the form of deductions or exemptions under the Income Tax Act. We should also know whether we need to check our investment regularly or not. Like say, if we have taken an FD, then we need not churn it from time to time. If we are happy with rate of interest we are getting on it. But if we want more returns on FD, then we have to keep an eye on the changing rate of interest of FDs. If the return percent goes up, then we will close our old FD and we will get new FD on higher returns. And also we need to check for different products from how much amount we can start investing as per our income and also our final goals. So keeping in mind all the above factors, we need to select the product in which we want to invest, either for short-term purposes or long-term purpose. For example, we are investing in Jindal Steel equity shares. So when we are investing in shares, we get dividend as well as ownership rights as well as return in the form of increase in the price of shares in the market. Next is lending investments. This is a kind of investment in which we are lending funds to the company and they will give us fixed interest on that invested amount at regular intervals, say annually or at the maturity date. And we will get our principal amount back at the maturity date as decided by the company. So here is direct relationship established between borrowers and the lenders. Bonds that are issued in the market are the example of lending investments. And the third one is cash equivalents. These are those investments on which we get very less return but our funds are readily available for use. For example, the money kept in savings bank account, the money that we invest in money market instruments like in treasury bills, certificate of deposits, etc. Next we are going to discuss about the investment options available according to the time period. One is short-term investments and the second one is long-term investments. Short-term investments are those investments in which we invest for a period of less than 1 year. For example, the money we keep in saving bank accounts, the money we invest in money market funds, and the money we invest in bank fixed deposits or recurring deposits. And next one is long-term investments. These are those investments in which we invest for a period of more than 1 year. First one is post office savings. We invest in it for a period of minimum of 5 years. And the next one is bonds and debentures. That comes in the market with a lock-in period of say 5 years, 10 years, that depends on the company. Life insurance policies that we take come with a minimum of 10 years or 15 years, same as the case with mutual funds and equity shares. But here are two investments in which we can invest for short term as well as long term. One is equity shares and the other one is fixed deposits. We can invest in both investments for a period of short term or long term. That depends on our needs and our goals. Now we are going to discuss about some of the investment options available in detail. First one is post office monthly scheme. We have to invest a lump sum amount in this kind of investment and we will get the regular monthly income from it. It is specially suited for the retired employees or the senior citizens. We get 5 to 6% of rate of interest per annum on this kind of investment. The interest we get on this kind of investment is taxable at the applicable slab rates. This kind of investments has a maturity period of 5 years and this also provides us the auto credit facility to our saving bank account. That means our amount will be credited to our bank account on the decided date. The above given interest rates vary from time to time and scheme to scheme. So we have to look into this, which investment or which scheme gives us better return. Next one is bank deposits. Bank deposits can be of 3 types: fixed deposits, recurring deposits and flexi account deposits. First one is fixed deposits. We have to invest for one time in this and then we will get the return quarterly or annually as per our selected product. If we want to save the tax on FDs, then we have to invest in it for a minimum period of 5 years. Next is recurring deposits. These deposits are regular in nature. That means we can invest monthly in it and get interest on maturity date or on annual basis. And the next one is flexi account deposits. These are those kind of deposits in which we have given our bank the standing instructions that if money in our bank account exceeds with a particular amount, then it will automatically create FD for the exceeded amount, and it will be sent back to our accounts if the balance of our account gets reduced from a particular amount. For example, I have given my bank the standing instructions that if my account exceeds 50,000 balance, then automatically create the FD. So one day my account was having rupees 1 lakh balance. Then what the bank did? The bank created FD for 50,000. And then one day my account was having 20,000 balance. So now they matured my FD of rupees 30,000 and sent bank to my account, so that minimum balance of my account can be maintained. This is called flexi account deposits. Next one is National Savings Certificates. It is basically designed for individuals and no TDS is deducted on these kind of investment. We can also avail loan on these kind of investments and also get deduction under section 80C in Income Tax Act of maximum amount of 1,50,000. It comes with a maturity period of 5 years or 10 years, and we get rate of interest of 6% to 7% on these certificates. We can invest a minimum of rupees 100 in it, and there is no maximum limit for investment, but we only get deduction of 1,50,000 in the Income Tax Act. Next one is ULIP, Unit Linked Insurance Plans. These are insurance policies that provide us life cover with the potential of creating wealth, or we can say it is a two-in-one investment. It is providing us the life insurance as well as our wealth is created. These investments provide minimum life cover of 10 times of annual premium, and it also gives us the freedom to choose how our funds should be allocated for further investments, whether they should be invested in equity funds or debt funds or balance funds. It also allows us for partial withdrawal at the time of need, and we also get the deduction of rupees up to 1,50,000 under the Income Tax Act, and also our mature amount is tax free. Next one is Public Provident Fund. It is an investment ideal for individuals, but it is not available for non-resident Indians. And we also get deduction under section 80C of maximum up to rupees 1,50,000 in the Income Tax Act. And we have to invest in it for a minimum period of 15 years. And the minimum amount required for investment in this is rupees 500 per year, and it should not exceed rupees 1,50,000 per year, and the amount that we withdraw after the maturity date is also tax free, and we get a rate of interest of near about 7.1% on it, and we can also avail loan on this kind of investment after the third year of our investment starting, and we also can withdraw the funds of a particular amount after the sixth financial year. Next one is investment in bonds. There are two types of bonds that gives us different benefits. One is tax-free bonds and the other one is tax-saving bonds. The interest that we earn on tax-free bonds is tax-free, or we can say tax exempt under section 10 of Income Tax Act, and we get higher interest rates on the tax-free bonds than the tax-saving bonds, and we can invest up to 5 lakh in it, and these come with a lock-in period of 10 years. That means we have to invest for a minimum of 10 years in it. And the next is tax saving bonds. In this, only initial investment is tax exempt, and we get deduction of 80 CCF of rupees only 20,000 under the Income Tax Act, and we get lesser rate of interest on this in comparison to tax-free bonds. And this investment has a buyback clause that we can withdraw after 5 or 7 years of investments. But in our country, bonds are not as actively traded as in other countries. As in our country, equity shares are traded so as the bonds are traded in other countries. Next one is investment in equity shares. This kind of investment gives us ownership of the company. That means we become the shareholders of the company. This kind of investment is considered risky but also gives us very high returns. It outperforms all other securities in long term. For example, if we are investing in equity shares for a longer period of time, then we can get even 100% plus returns within a year. But if we invest in other securities, we can't get much return in the same period of time. In this kind of investment, we get dividends as well as profit on sale of shares because the price of the shares fluctuates from time to time when the markets are open. But yes, it requires some knowledge and we need to devote some time to it. It's not that we need some hardcore knowledge to invest in equity shares. We can invest in any sector we have knowledge of. For example, if somebody has knowledge of pharmaceuticals, then he can invest in pharmaceutical companies like Cipla, Cadila Healthcare, etc. So, same if the person is having the knowledge of auto sector, he can invest in auto sector companies. In the upcoming videos, we will discuss in detail for the investment in equity shares. Next one is mutual funds. There are two types of plans in mutual funds investment. One is SIP, that is Systematic Investment Plan, and the other one is SWP, Systematic Withdrawal Plan. In SIP, we have to invest regularly, say monthly or half yearly or annually, and we get the returns on that. In the SWP, Systematic Withdrawal Plan, we have to invest the lump sum amount and we get the monthly payments or annual payments in that. We can choose any of the scheme as per our requirement. It is a very liquid investment. We can convert it into cash at any point of time, and it is a fund that is professionally managed because professionals further invest in equity shares, debt funds or the balance funds as per their knowledge and the ongoing scenario of the market. This kind of investment we can start with even minimum of rupees 500. Next one is other investments that are available in the market. One is real estate. It is an investment that gives us return in the form of rent as well as capital gains while selling that land. Next one investment is gold. It is another investment that is tried and tested by our ancestors. We can also see the price of gold that was in August 2019 was nearby approx 34,000, but now it is costing nearby 51,000. So we can check the return it is giving us. We can also invest in collectibles like art, stamps, coins that can give us a good return in the future. So now here we are going to discuss about some of the benefits of investment. One is money is kept safe. So now some people will say our money is also kept safe in the savings. But I'll ask here, what is the benefit of savings if we are not getting some good returns on it? So if we invest money, we will get very good returns on that. We can also say investment is necessary for getting regular other income, or we can say second income. Investment also minimizes the burden of tax as we get deductions or exemption under the Income Tax Act if we invest in tax saving products. Through investment, we can also save money for our retirement. So these all are the benefits that the investments provides us with the good returns. So at the end, I would like to say an empire is never built in a day. It needs patience as well as wise decisions. Now it's your choice what you want to do. You want to spend or save or invest in some products for the future goals. Thank you so much guys. Hope you will like this video, comment and share and subscribe to our channel to get more updates. Have a nice day. Bye bye.